So we evacuated out at sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night with the three kids and drove through the fire and tried to make our way to the evacuation centre. And one of them just cried out, Jesus, help us. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I should have been doing at first.
Mike Archer is the founder of Dawning Day Winery and commercial distributors, Altitude 701. Mike is an experienced and knowledgeable wine expert. He understands not only growing and making, but also the art of positioning and distribution.
Yes, we got some grapes shipped over from South Australia in trucks. I was able to help out a couple of the other local vineyards in the area to get some fruit as well. And so, yeah, we're still able to produce some wine in 2020. And
Mike brings a lifelong passion for wine and a sense of divine purpose and destiny. The winery not only produces exceptional quality, but also works ethically and sustainably. Dawning Day also gives back into the local community, helping those in need.
I'm an inquisitive kind of guy. Like since I was 18, I've been, going to wineries, asking a lot of questions, trying to be a sponge.
One of the things I love about Dawning Day is also a certain portion of your revenues, difficult times goes to local community causes.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about the thinking behind that?
And the other thing is, we've got a lot of people come through our door. So we've got a lot of people that we can be hospitable to. And that's something that God's called us to be.
Hey, Mike, thanks for joining us today. It's
No
great.
worries.
You're a local,
Yes.
Southern Highlands, which is great. So most people travel for hours to get here, but it's not just down the road for you. It's not too bad.
Easy.
Not too bad.
The polar opposite end of the Highlands, but we're
That's
still
right.
still in the Highlands.
It's a surprisingly long space. People just, it's 40 minutes from here to your place, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
You're the founder and owner of Dawning Day. Do you want to tell us a little bit about how you got into the winemaking industry?
Yeah, sure. Back when I was 18, I probably shouldn't say earlier, started a love for wine.
Yep.
And used to just love going out to vineyards, particularly in Mudgee. Used to go to Mudgee every year.
Great spot.
And yeah, great spot. And we just like to find those little vineyards that were a bit off the track, and places where you could go and talk to the owner, talk to the winemaker, and just discover something a bit different rather than the bigger commercial places. So we started doing that, and then ever since I was 18, the dream was to own a vineyard. So I'd go to these courses, and it'd be like, "What's your long-term goal?" "Oh, to own a vineyard." And so 15 years went by, and that was just the dream in the back of the mind. And got more and more into wine and visiting different wine regions and whatnot, and just enjoying it and learning about it. But then I was at a company part of Dulux Group, and working for Sellies and Yates Garden Care, and I had a mentor there, and we'd catch up every 3 months or so, and he rattled off the question, "Oh, what's your long-term goal?" I said, "Oh, to own a vineyard." And he said, "What are you doing about it?" And it was just that one question just stopped me in my tracks, and made me really think. And nothing was the answer. Doing absolutely nothing about it other than saying it.
Yep.
So 2 weeks later, I quit. So mentoring chat backfired for the company.
Right. Yeah, that's right.
But it was just what I needed to go forward into that industry. So then I was left with the task, do I be a farmer? Do I start farming? I could barely keep tomato plants alive in the backyard, so I thought that's probably not my first step.
Yep.
Have I got a heap of money, like the retired lawyers and accountants that buy up vineyards in the scheme to minimise the tax?
Yes.
No, couldn't tick that box either. But was I good with numbers and could I sell? That was probably something that could work. So I ended up starting up like a little wine distribution business.
Okay.
So we started selling other people's wine.
Yep.
So we started with a little brand from the Barossa Valley, and then one from Orange, and then gradually built our little portfolio up to about 20 different brands that we sell for. So we're mainly selling it to restaurants and bars and pubs and the odd independent bottle shop. And
yep.
and whatnot.
So like independent distributor for a small vineyard, specialist vineyards.
Yeah.
Is that the Altitude 701? Is that
that's it.
Okay.
Altitude 701.
Yeah.
And the name for that kind of relates to the dream. So I wanted to own a vineyard above 700 meters altitude.
Okay, I wondered about that. I wonder where that came from. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like 42 below the vodka.
Exactly.
Brand.
Yeah. So that was about 15 years ago now or so. Yep, and still do that today as well. So that got us into the industry, and it got me rubbing shoulders with a lot of other people that are well entrenched in growing grapes and making
absolutely.
wine. So then about
you would have met a lot of characters on that journey, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Heard everyone's story about how they got started and what they were doing, and
that's it. Yeah, and generally a lot of salt of the earth sort of people from the rural and farming backgrounds. So and then transitioning to what we're doing now. That was about 8 or 9 years ago.
Okay.
We got to a point where the distribution business was going okay and built up a bit of cash flow. So we decided to take the step to sell our southern Sydney home and buy property in a wine region. So
big call.
Yep. My original dream was Mendoza in Argentina.
Okay.
And Katrina said, my wife said, let's go a little closer to the in-laws and parents. So as opposed to a day and a half travel, we ended up an hour and a half travel from the parents. So in the Southern Highlands, hour and a half from Sydney.
Yep, very good.
Bought a property.
Yeah.
Dug out a lot of rocks.
So was it a vineyard originally, or
no?
It was just started from scratch.
Yeah, so a house was there that we moved into, but we then had to. Everything else was just grass.
Yeah.
So
well, you've done a great job. I mean, Helen and I have been a number of times to your property.
Yeah, thank you.
It's been it's just lovely. It's very homely, and the wines are fabulous. By the way, just for the record,
thank you.
Really, really good.
Yeah,
I know you draw on all sorts of grapes from different areas and plus your own as well. So there's a good mix there.
Yeah, exactly.
Plenty of variety and all good, which is great.
Yeah. I'll pick up on the word you used there, homely.
Yeah.
Because we've actually had some friends sort of prophesy over our property and that, and they used that word that it was going to be a home away from home for people.
Well, that's definitely true. You just come in, you feel welcome. It's kind of it's relaxed and it's cozy and people are friendly and you say, I could probably stay here like all day.
Yeah.
Just settle in.
Which is good if they're buying lots of wine, but not good if they're just drinking water. But
no, that's right. You've got accommodation there too, don't you?
We do, yeah. We've got a little 2-bedroom accom with a full kitchen and a nice big projector and stuff. And that's attached to the winery and cellar-door as well. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. That's been good.
Excellent. You're doing a great job. It's fabulous.
Thank you very much.
Not always an easy road though. I know you had some challenges 2020 with the fires.
Yeah. No, challenges from the start pretty much. So 2017 is when we bought the property, started preparing the ground, worked out why it was called Rockley Road by the amount of basalt boulders that we had to dig out to be able to plant the vineyard.
Yep.
Couple of bulge discs from that, which very soon we're going to release a wine called L4, L5. He's going to pay back my chiropractor bills.
I love
it's a
that.
Pinot Noir Gamay blend. So
very good.
Very special.
Yes. Did a bit of damage.
Still got those boulders there ready to build a nice stone wall out the front once we get around to that.
That's good for vines though, isn't it? Having some rocks.
It is. Like, you look around the Exeter landscape and it's just luscious green rolling hills, a bit like England, which implies that it's, reasonably fertile and productive. And we're on, I think they call it a Robertson, a basalt soil. So it's a clay soil, but with a lot of basalt rock through it. So the trick with vines is you want them to be, not starving, but you also want to treat them a little bit mean. So so that they're not just producing a whole heap of canopy and leaves and foliage and not much fruit and whatnot. So you're trying to keep the vine in balance. Yeah. So having the rocks there is not a bad thing from that perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's something maybe we're missing a little bit in Christianity sometimes. You know, God talks a lot about vines and pruning and those things. And sort of modern Christianity, we tend to think of as, suffering or hard times is not necessarily a good thing, but God can use those things, those times of resistance to build our character and shape us. And
absolutely, yeah. So that's what we're doing at the moment. We're in the pruning season. So we're, essentially cutting off 80% of the vine and just laying down some new arms for next year. And that's right. If we didn't do that, if we weren't the vine dresser and pruning away, then eventually over the next couple of years, the vines would actually get unruly and hard to tame and manage and less productive in the end as well. So the pain of the pruning is for a more fruitful harvest the following year.
Yeah, and it's significant, isn't it? 80%.
Oh yeah, at least.
Yeah. I'm liking this analogy less and less as we talk about it. It's a bit brutal, isn't it?
It is. It is a bit. So
I do like that scripture talks about being plugged in. That if we're plugged into Him as the vine, plugged in we get fruit. We're not plugged in, no fruit.
Yeah.
So
cut off.
Cut off. Indeed.
Yeah, that's right. But after planting, didn't rain for about 2 years with the drought.
Yep.
So that was tough for the little vines to get going. And then on 4th of January 2020, the Currowan fire turned into the Moreton fire and suddenly blew up the hill from Kangaroo Valley Way.
Yeah.
And Amber Attack lit up our property then. And thankfully some RFS mates living across the road came and put it out before it burnt the vineyard or our house.
That was pretty close.
That was pretty close. Yeah. Yep. So we evacuated out at sort of 10, 11 o'clock at night with the three kids and drove through the fire and tried to make our way to the evacuation centre. So it was a bit scary. And I'm in let's get this sorted mode. And then the kids jumped in the car and one of them just cried out, Jesus, help us. And I'm like, oh, yeah, that's what I should have been doing at first.
Yeah. Sometimes it's our last resort, isn't it? Sometimes we don't think about it in that way for sure.
Yeah.
So much damage?
Look, thankfully not. Essentially where our cellar-door and winery is now, that's where it burnt. So it kind of cleared the ground nicely to a porous slab. But the damage was actually for us a couple of houses got lost down the end of the street, which was tragic. But for us, the damage was months of smoke, on end that gets into the grape skins, gives them what's called smoke taint. And so that was our first crop. So it takes 3 years for vines to kind of get up and producing. Yeah. And then, so we had a crop on I was very excited about. Yeah. All the smoke, decided to still pick it because you taste it. It doesn't taste like smoke when you're eating grapes. Yeah, it's after the fermentation happens that this smoky phenols and compounds come out. Yeah, so I made wine, tasted like licking an ashtray. Yep, and cheese and bacon balls. It was like actually sort of a slight intrigue there, but quite a niche market. Yeah. So then, a little too niche. Yeah. Well, no, but then we decided to get that distilled and made a beautiful gin. So something came out of it. So that's called the Bandit. So Smokey and the Bandit.
I tried that. It was very good, actually. Good. It's very good.
Yeah.
So how did you feel about when you've first crop?
Yeah.
And this the fire and the smoke damage. What was going through your head at that point?
Yeah. Definitely a little disheartening. Certainly happy to be alive and have a house and have the vineyard and whatnot. Yeah. But it is not a good cash flow business, growing a vineyard and making wine. So to then have, our first crack at that essentially ruined. It was pretty disheartening because, it's now another 12 months before you get to have the next crack at it.
It's a long cycle.
Yeah, that's right.
And from a spiritual perspective, faith with your journey with God in the midst of that, did that challenge that at all?
Look at I guess a bit.
I'd be having
but
a good grump at God. I think that would probably be my response to something like that.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of so that happened, and then a couple of months later, COVID happened, and then as a hospitality business, we're about to open our cellar-door, and then everyone was locked down for 4 or 5 months, so no one could come.
Yeah,
and then it was flooded for the next sort of 2 years. So
it's a great start.
It's been a great start.
Fire, pestilence.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was. To be fair,
floods.
I was getting sick of that word, resilience. Yeah,
it's overrated. I think.
Yeah.
Over this character building stuff. But that's
it.
That's
unprecedented and resilience.
Yes, the unprecedented use of the word unprecedented.
But look, through it all, God provided. Well, the government provided with JobKeeper and things like that as well. But in terms of we didn't actually let that stop us from making wine. So I've got a mate that I'm catching up with in Newcastle later today, actually, that has got a big vineyard in South Australia, and that was not affected by smoke. Pretty much most of New South Wales was impacted by the smoke. But so we got some grapes shipped over from South Australia in trucks. And was able to help out a couple of the other local vineyards in the area to get some fruit as well.
Yeah.
And so, we're still able to produce some wine in 2020. And to be honest, it was some pretty fun varietals to work with as well. So
doing
stuff that grows in a hot climate, because in the Highlands it's freezing and we can only kind of grow a few things well.
Yeah. The next year, like 2021, that was your first crop with your own grapes and your own wine.
Yep, that's right.
That was a better year than 2020.
It's definitely better. Yeah.
So how was that for you?
So it was good to get something off. It was the vines were a little over life because I think the drought, the fires, and I think the smoke had a bit of a lasting impact just in general on vine health to some extent. But we did get a small crop off, so we made made 2 wines. We made one, which was a Pinot Noir Gamay blend. So we grow Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Gamay, which is a French Beaujolais kind of grape.
That's one of your favourites, isn't it?
Do you like that one?
Yeah.
Yep. It's a fun grape.
Yep.
And we only had enough to combine the Pinot Noir and the Gamay together to get 1 barrel. So very small production. Yep. And then the rest of it we picked a bit earlier to make a sparkling, so a method traditional bottle fermented sparkling of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. And we actually just released that a few months ago. So it's been...
I've got a couple of bottles in the fridge.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah. So
Great.
that's been sitting there for, nearly 4 years in the making.
Yep.
You can do it earlier, in Champagne, you only have to be about 15 months bottle fermenting before you can call it champagne.
Yep.
But we've gone longer just to build up a bit more complexity that goes with our lovely, cool climate, racy acidity and freshness. So really happy with that. It's been a labour of love that's been worth the wait when you see the final product.
Awesome.
So that was 21, and then 2022 we just literally couldn't get into the vineyard. It was underwater, even though we're nearly at the top of a hill at 720 metres elevation. But it was just crazy wet. So again, thankfully having started business with that wine distribution side of things, we've instantly got a whole heap of other grape growers and contacts that we're working with, which is really handy. So while we were underwater, Tumbarumba down in the Snowy Mountains, wasn't. And so we're able to get some lovely Chardonnay and Pinot Noir from some mates down there. And again, keep producing some wine.
Yeah.
And then 2023 kind of looked like it was going to be the same, flood out. But then about Christmas time it came good and dried up. It was a really nice, long, cool season. And so then we started getting some more of our own fruit, and we're able to do a straight Chardonnay and a straight Pinot Noir, straight Gamay, and also another a rosé champagne style sparkling as well, which is still bubbling away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
Then 24, even better. 25, even better crop again. So
that's great.
Yeah. It's starting to hit its straps, the vineyard. Yeah.
That must be a great feeling.
8 years later.
Such a time of resilience and resistance, and overrated character building.
Yeah.
In those in the early noughties, and then going from there, it's just
it's good.
Seems to have come right.
It is good because the problem is you're putting, like this year we got 6 or 7 ton off our vineyard, which is a nice, semi-commercial level.
Yep.
But the other years that we were still farming it and getting either nothing or not much, you're still putting in the same amount of work and resource and money.
Absolutely.
To get nothing or
yeah.
So it is nice to get that return.
Working the land. Do you feel like you were sort of prepared for this to a degree because you work with Fosters and then you were doing the altitude, so you'd have a good sense of what other people were doing, what sort of varieties to play with. You had a passion for wine from early on.
Yeah.
Do you think you were sort of prepared for doing what you're doing now? You think this is kind of the pinnacle of what you're built for?
Yeah, I think that's a good question. I think there's definitely things along the way. So the background, did a marketing and statistics degree.
Yeah.
Went into some sort of market research and analysis roles out of that for a few years, and then settled a bit more into Foster's Group, working with Carlton United Breweries. Sort of sat in between sales, marketing, operations, and finance. So it was a bit of the number crunchery with a sales commercial edge to it, and then plugging into demand for the factories and stuff like that as well. So it was a really good overall role that touched a lot of the business. So that was pretty cool and gave me a bit of insight into the alcohol space.
Yeah.
Then sort of moved out to be a bit closer to home work-wise, and went from commercial analysis into key account management, and then into sales management. So definitely shifted to that more sales side from the numbers side.
I do a little bit of work in the industry, and it seems to be something that's missing is great passionate grape growers and winemakers, but the distribution, the sales, how to create something that's got a point of difference, or sales piece seems to be missing a little bit. Would you got both sides of that?
I'd totally agree with that. Yeah. I'm certainly not the greatest farmer, hence why I've got a small vineyard. But I do enjoy being out there in the nature. Yeah, that's it. There's something about being amongst the things that creation and being looking up in the sky, taking a deep breath, and that's definitely nice and grounding and a nice time to be able to worship as well and whatnot.
So that's a time for you, like being outside and working with the hands, being out in nature. That's part of your connection with him.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Winemaking. I did a marketing stats degree. I haven't done a winemaking degree, but thankfully I've had a couple of mates along the way that are very good winemakers and very willing to share a lot of knowledge, and I've just learned a heap from them. And I'm an inquisitive kind of guy. Like since I was 18, I've been going to wineries, asking a lot of questions, trying to be a sponge.
Yep.
I guess, and thankfully I have a reasonable memory. So
never stop learning though, do you?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Always something to learn in that space.
Yeah. So, but practically, I guess I thought I knew what winemaking was, and then when it was, because I do a bit in friends' wineries and whatnot, and tell them how I want the wine made and whatnot over years ago.
Yeah.
But then when you're actually doing it yourself, there was quite a lot to learn actually. It was it's mainly cleaning is the main thing I learned. 80% cleaning.
In amongst the pestilence and the fires and the floods and everything else that's going on, lots of cleaning.
Yeah, lots of cleaning.
You're not selling this. You're not selling this.
Yeah.
It's experience.
So that's But then in general, I was good at chemistry at school, but I don't. Once you know what you're doing, it's not that hard to make.
Sure.
Well, I don't think it's that hard to make good wine, right? You got to have a good nose, and good palate, and you got to ask. You got to get input from other people as well, because your one style of wine that you like is not what all the world likes either. Yeah. So don't be too precious about your own opinion. I think, but you can make wine, you can grow grapes. That's pretty hard given the weather, especially in our climate. you can make wine, and plenty of people can do that, and they've got a shed full of wine that is sitting there because they can't sell.
Yeah.
They can't market. They got a terrible label.
Yeah.
They don't like going out and talking to customers who are the people that are going to have to, push their wine through. So I would say, certainly at the moment, especially with a little bit of a glut going around and lessening demand potentially for vino, the sales and distribution side is the critical side at the moment.
Totally.
And thankfully I've come from a background that's, let me to have a little bit of expertise in that area. So,
So, I really believe that we're built for a purpose, and that we work a lot of that out as in our vocation on whatever God's calling us to do. And, the passion that we might have for something is often an expression of what he's asking us to do. And, it's never a straight line, and it's never an easy path. We sort of work out that vision and work out that sense of purpose.
Yeah,
one of the things I love about Dawning Day is also you a certain portion of your revenues, even in difficult times, goes to local community causes.
Yeah,
you want to tell us a little bit about the thinking behind that?
Yeah, sure. I guess we've probably just put an arbitrary figure on what we've wanted to give away, and to date that's been 10% of our revenue we've given back away to generally to local charities and some overseas and whatnot as well, but trying to keep a fair focus on local community. We'll see how this cost of living crisis goes. It might be us that's the people on the street getting the 10%. But
we have like 10% back, please.
But look, to the glory of God, so far we've been able to stick to that.
Is that a passion of yours?
I like being generous. Well? Yeah. No, it definitely gives joy to be generous. Yeah. So, so it might be a selfish thing for me to get joy for that, but it's nice that it's able to help people out in the off benefit as well. So, but no, I just feel like that's something that God's put on my heart.
Yeah.
The name Dawning Day is a little paraphrase of a scripture. So Isaiah 58, and it's kind of God's talking to the Pharisees about fasting, and you put on your sackcloth and you walk around wailing and you're doing all this religious stuff. Yeah. And he said, true fasting is this, that you look after the fatherless and the widow, feed the hungry, clothe the poor.
Right.
And then your light will break forth like the dawn, it says, and your healing will quickly appear. So, so we kind of paraphrase that a bit, and that's where Dawning Day came from as a goal to be able to help some of the others in the community. Yeah,
that's really important. I think if we're Christians in whatever we're called to do, whether that's working for someone else or doing our own business, that a portion of that or some broader mindset that can we impact the local community? Can we give? Can we help? What can we do?
Yeah, that's it.
It's a great part of our privilege of Christian walk is looking at others as well as ourselves.
Yeah, that's for sure. Hey, a couple of the ones we've been able to work with around locally is like a charity called Pop In. It's like helps mainly women in domestic violence situations and whatnot. And I went to a business lunch the other day with them, and it's just the goal is to not have to help them, because you'd hope that there wasn't domestic violence
for sure.
But unfortunately, there is, and the Highlands is maybe not an area that you would think there might be as much of it, but it's equally as prominent there as well. So some of the others like doing a great job is like Welby Garden Centre. They're helping to give some people with special needs jobs there and whatnot.
Yep.
And Illawarra down that way, the Shoalhaven Homeless Hub, they're doing some great work there as well. So they're just some of the ones that we've kind of support on a regular basis.
Yeah. There's something healthy too about investing in the local community. Because this is where your business is. This is your
Yeah.
your community, your broader community, and
Yeah.
investing back into that. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, true.
Great thing to do.
Yeah.
What about? Can I ask you about your personal journey to faith? Were you raised in a Christian home? How did you
Yeah.
come to know the Lord?
Yep. I was. So very blessed to have Christian parents and family.
It's the best testimony, I reckon.
Oh yeah,
It's all good.
it's nice to have people that are dad's passionate, an evangelist and about people coming to the Lord, and mum's just the kindest heart for people, and so it's great, and a couple of awesome sisters as well. So it's been it was good, and then probably I think I was in maybe year one, and the scripture teacher's like, does anyone want to give their life to God, and definitely remember that, I guess. Verbally, making a decision at that point, and then it's a journey, and
Totally.
and then got baptized when I was about maybe 17 or so,
Yep.
and then another sort of significant moment was we just moved. I think we've been in an Anglican church for about maybe 10 or 12 years, and then we started going to a vineyard church, quite appropriately.
Yeah, there's a theme here. There's definitely a theme.
Yeah. We went there to watch. That
was a big movement.
To see to see a friend of ours get baptized there.
Yep.
And then both my wife Katrina and I just felt like God just said, "This is your new home."
Yep.
And so we moved there, and then I think the week later the pastor stepped down, and then they didn't have a pastor for about 3 years. So we're like, "Oh, is this really what you want, God?" And at no point did it actually feel like that was the wrong move.
Yeah.
And it just, I mean, to me, it just really showed, that a church or a body of believers is not about the head honcho.
100%.
It's about the body. Yeah. And that was just so evident there.
Mm.
And then not long after we started going there, had someone come and pray for me at the end of the service, and they just spoke something out that was just like only Katrina or God could have known that about me, and they just said this thing and spoke into it, and I just suddenly felt the weight of the Holy Spirit just hit me, and just started crying and weeping, and it was just such an overwhelming thing to know that the Creator of the universe knew me and had a word for me that intimately. It was just it just blew me away. So
good. Those are special times, aren't they? Where you just know He's put His finger on you, that's awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
And do you feel like what you've done as far as following this passion and dream of you, this sense of purpose, do you see that's aligned to what He's called you to?
Yeah, I think so, because it is a bit random just to be like, I want to own a vineyard. I want to own a vineyard since I was quite young. So given that my dad doesn't drink wine at all, and so it's not like I've been grown up on the land or in that area either. So I do feel like it's just a God prompting that's just always sat on my heart. So even though we have gone through what's been a pretty rough journey to kick things off, I've just had a peace and a confidence that we're in the lane where he's called us to,
nice way to look at it.
And he's probably gonna make things turn out.
He'll work it out somehow, and
whatever.
I like that. And I often think that we're called to align to what He's asking us to do. The beautiful irony of that was we end up doing something that we're really passionate about. If we're willing to surrender it to Him, and then just allow Him to work it out. We joked about difficult times and resistance and resilience and those things, but it's definitely part of the journey, I think.
It is. Yeah. But no, I think you're right. I think there's he's put a fire in our heart for a reason, and if you can't push into that in some way, I think you're missing out.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you see, obviously there's a couple of different ways of looking at this, and I don't know, we've talked a few times, but very briefly, but often people will see the ministry part of a business as, okay, this makes money and I can give that to the church or help do, some of the wonderful things you're doing in community.
Yeah.
But what about the actual business itself, like the working on the land and producing the wine and the connections that you have with suppliers and customers and those things? Do you see that as a ministry?
Yep, for sure.
Excellent. That's good, because if you said no, I'd have a problem on the.
Okay.
No, because I think a lot of people do genuinely wrestle with that. Though.
Yeah. No, I think it is like where you're right. Like, you're dealing with suppliers. You've got relationship. You've got a chance to show integrity in business.
Yeah.
And even though that might be costly, it's I'm sure you can make more money by taking cash and not putting it through the books. But do we want roads and hospitals and things like that help our community and or
100%.
to do the right thing? Well, there's little decisions that you can make that others see. And the other thing is we've got a lot of people come through our door, so we've got a lot of people that we can be hospitable to, and that's something that God's called us to be.
I love that.
And and show grace and show love to people that just in our interactions with them. Yeah, that's for sure.
I really like that approach. I think it's so important, because if you don't see God in your everyday and what He's called you to, then you're more likely to cut corners, do it the world's way, and that's really not what we're called to.
Yeah,
I think if we see what we do every day as a vocation or a ministry, or that's what He's calling to, that's our purpose, our sort of reason for being.
Yeah,
we're much more likely to work with excellence, work with integrity, serve those around us, love people, and not cut corners.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Yeah, it's I think it's a problem if you sing your kumbaya on a Sunday and put on the face there, and then suddenly it's a new game come Monday morning, then that's a problem.
Yeah, something's missing in that, which is really what this is all about. Is trying to encourage people to think about God as much on a Monday as they do on a Sunday.
Oh yeah, of course.
So, how do you manage to integrate your time with God, and do you have any sort of disciplines in your life, or is it just a daily walk? What do you do about bringing everything you're wrestling with, all the opportunities and challenges of running a business, to Him? How do you work that out?
Yeah, probably poorly.
We're all on a journey on that, aren't we? Yes. So
we are.
Yeah,
Look,
it's. I love these people say, "Yeah, I was up at 4 o'clock in the morning," and I'm just going, "Really? No."
Yeah, I wasn't.
No.
But no, look, definitely something. I think I could benefit from some more discipline. I'm definitely a more dynamic person, and structure is not my friend.
You and me both, brother.
Which I'm sure drives Katrina.
Yeah, we married well though, didn't we?
Yeah, exactly.
It's good.
That's it. The complementary thing is important.
Yeah,
that's right.
You need at least one organised person in a relationship.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But look, I get, when I'm doing some sales or when I'm driving to pick up grapes down in Tumbarumba or Gundagai or whatnot, I get to spend a bit of time on the road, and I just love putting on the worship music and just communing that way, or putting on the daily audio Bible. That's because I can barely read these days. Like I got through uni and I'm like, that's enough.
Exactly. That's my reading done.
Yeah. So I'd much rather listen to things.
Audiobooks and podcasts. I'm the same, commuting up to Sydney quite a bit, and
exactly.
It's great.
Yeah,
it's good for that.
I go to sleep every night to a podcast.
Okay.
As well. Yeah.
Nice.
So some of it sinks in, I'm sure.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and there's so much we can access some of the best teachers in the world, best books in the world.
Yeah.
There's great opportunities to do that.
Yeah, fantastic.
And you're part of a local community as well. church community.
Yeah, local church community. Yep. Here, not far away in Mittagong, Highlands Christian Church.
Yep.
I think we're called.
I've been, great church. It's good. I met your pastor, which is good.
Yeah, he's a good man.
He's bivocational too, isn't he?
He is, yeah. He's an electrician in the mines and then does church on the side.
How do you do that? That's amazing.
We get away with a lot of output from him for a little expense. Which is pretty amazing.
It was nice to meet him.
Good guy and great community. If we have to have a brand, we're a part of a Pentecostal church called BMI, Bethesda Ministries International, but I prefer to just say we're Jesus followers and
hanging out with the Jesus.
We're all part of that same group,
good.
aren't we? So
we are. Yeah. No, I like that. It's good. I love the diversity of the body of Christ. It's a good thing. We need to learn to play nice with each other a bit more, but we all believe the same things at the end of the day. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah.
And have the privilege of leading worship some weeks as well. So
good on you, man.
It's a shame. So hopefully you're not there. Then you'd have to listen to me hacking away bad chords on the guitar. But
that's been a big part of your life as well, worship and music.
Since we moved here to the Highlands, No, actually, I've always liked music, but and worship, but have never been, involved up front. Just a real gracious community that's like, they heard me one day like tapping my leg and said, "Oh, you've got a beat, and you can join the worship band."
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
You're the new worship leader.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of evolved a bit from there, and love it.
So that's an important part of your life as well, being connected to a faith community and serving there and doing that as well. I love that.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's I read something the other day that I sent through to Pastor Darren about, taking time out for the Sabbath and whatnot. Just definitely being in hospitality, struggling with that a little just because, Sunday is a day that people come to buy wine.
Yeah.
But we've opened it up just for half the day, so just the afternoon. So we've kind of blocked out the morning so we can do church and whatnot. And then we had someone that was working for us that has just, her last day was yesterday actually. So we were trying to make it so that, we could ideally have a day off. But now we've got to find someone else to replace that.
It's tricky to navigate all those things.
It is.
Sure.
It is.
Yeah.
And then, then you kind of say, well, I'll have Monday off then instead. But business keeps rolling. So definitely got to find, because like God will provide. If we honor Him, and if we like, you can always think that it's just got to keep going, got to keep hustling, and but in the end, it's actually not that good for you. And I think He wants a bit of reliance on Him that He can provide.
Definitely. To lean into Him. I think He uses the workplace to shape us and grow us as well, and respond to the challenges and lean into Him on. I think that the Sabbath is a great conversation, because we do need to find that downtime, and He demonstrated what it is to rest, but also He demonstrated what it is to work as well.
Yeah.
Like looking at things, planning, seeing that they're good, checking them. He demonstrated a work week as well as the
for sure.
Sabbath, and they're both as important.
That's
try
right.
and find that balance, find some white space in our world where we can just genuinely down tools and spend time with Him and the family and those things. Yeah, tricky in a busy world.
Yeah.
And you've got a lot going on with both businesses and also the complexity of what you're doing with growing and accommodation and everything that's happening.
Yeah.
Lots going on. Do you have any advice for people who are wrestling with this whole concept of, is God interested in my work or my business, and how you work that out? What would you say to them?
Yeah, I think I'd say, if there's something that's been burning in your heart, it's something that hasn't, it's not just a flash in the pan thing. It's not just the latest trend or fad, and that's something that you're in, or you either started that business or you're working toward the goal of doing that. I definitely think that that prompting, as is placed there for a reason. I think it's the Spirit putting that prompting there, and it's something that should be pursued and should be pushed into. For those that are looking at starting something, there's never a good time. So we just had a second child, mortgage, blah blah. Was that a smart thing financially to quit the well-paid corporate job and go out and earn negative money for 2 years to start up a wine distribution business? No, that wasn't a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
But when was the time to we'll wait till the kids get into school. Oh, we'll wait till the kids are out of home. Well, by the time the kids are out of home, you've got no energy to start up a business. Your energy wanes. The older that we get. So
let's not have that conversation.
I'd say, if you're sure about it, pray about it, push into it, get some wise counsel, about it as well from Spirit-filled believers that are also going to be in tune for you. And have a go. And look, I took the leap of faith, and my company hired me back 3 days a week as a consultant to do some work for them while I lost money starting up the business. So
good transition.
That was very gracious of them, and very appreciative of that. And still keep up with my old boss and have a great relationship with him. And
that's great.
But God provides. Like if it's that vision, that lane that you're supposed to be in, it'll the doors will open. Yeah. I mean, if it's not a big headwind, let's say, then there's probably some red flags there. But we had another in that vineyard church. We had someone come from South Africa and prophesied over us, like before we moved to plant the vineyard.
Yeah. And
they said something like, you're out in a boat and you're sailing along and there's a wind coming that's going to fill your sail and just take you to where you need to be.
Yeah.
But it's not quite there yet.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's not far away. And so it was just a bit of a nice little confirmation about timing for us to make that move and selling up in Sydney and going all in on the vineyard and
I like that. Like
wine and whatnot.
I think that's a really good way to look at it. Is if you have a sense of vision or purpose or something that's a desire that's been there for a long time. I like what you said on the caveat of like take that to people around you. Have good people around you who people who honor God. And not just naysayers, but people who can walk down that for you. And I think if you genuinely do that and commit it to God, then He orchestrates confirmation, and if you're genuinely seeking Him in the midst of that, leaning into Him on that passion.
Yeah,
I loved your mentor. That was good. 2 weeks later, you've gone. Great corporate mentor.
Yeah.
That's a great question.
It is.
Yeah, what are you doing about it?
It is, and that's the role of a good mentor, isn't it? Like someone that's actually, not just trying to keep a good employee, but they're actually trying to push them to the next level. And the next level might not be within that company. So that is a truly good mentor.
No, I agree with that. Anything else around your personal disciplines? You obviously like eat well, sleep well, exercise well, do all those sort of fundamental things to keep everything going.
Got a very good cook at home. So Katrina's writing a cookbook at the moment, so we get to have the recipes tested out on us, which is fantastic.
And I hear your pickles are better than your wine. Is that true?
Her pickles are pretty amazing. People come for the dogs first to pat them because they're pretty epic, and then the pickles, then the wines. Decent.
That's the order. Dogs, pickles, wine.
Pretty much. Okay. Yeah. But no, try and eat well. Sleeping, I don't know, seems to get harder as time goes on. But try and get what I can. And then try and get to the gym every now and then. I mean, some of the work around the farms got a bit of physicality to it, so it's not too bad. But look, every now and then try and pump a few weights. And one of my sons is very into that, so that's a nice little motivation to still be able to beat him at an arm wrestle.
You still got to keep up with the.
My days are numbered.
It does creep up on you. I'll tell you, just between you and I. No, that's good. And I think those disciplines are part of a good godly walk too, looking after the body that He's given us and relationships and plugged into a local community, seeking Him and doing all those things.
Yeah. Yeah,
Mike, absolute pleasure great to get to know you a bit better as well. We've only just touched base a few times, so I really appreciate you coming and spending some time with us.
Pleasure, Mike.
So bless you, brother. Great.
You too. Cheers.
Cheers. Thanks for joining us at the Monday Movement Vodcast. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to know more about what we do, you can find us at mondaymovement.com.